Imagine holding a 3,000-year-old text that reads less like ancient history and more like a masterclass in project management and community building. How do you build an absolute masterpiece in the middle of a barren desert? Today, we are looking at a brilliant blueprint for mass mobilization. We will see how an entire nation of former slaves was inspired to create something monumental from scratch, using only what they had on hand. Let's look at the ultimate community project. This chapter isn't just a dry list of architectural instructions or ancient building codes. It is a profound look at how human beings organize, sacrifice, and build together. But before a single tool is picked up or a single ounce of gold is donated, the absolute ground rules for this massive project must be established. And surprisingly, the very first rule isn't about materials or blueprints. It is entirely about time. Moses declares that this rule for time is not a mere suggestion. The people will work hard for 6 days, but the seventh day is a Sabbath of complete and total rest, holy to the Lord. They aren't even allowed to light a fire in their dwellings. It is a profound project management insight. Even on God's own construction project, the work must come to a complete stop. The rhythm of rest is foundational to the community's life. The Sabbath isn't just a day off. It is a permanent sign of the covenant. With the boundaries of time firmly set, the massive call goes out to actually build the tabernacle. But notice the specific language used here. This isn't a mandatory tax, and it isn't a heavy government levy. It is an open invitation, specifically for those with generous hearts to willingly contribute. And the materials list is staggering. They need gold, silver, bronze, brilliantly dyed threads, fine linen, rare woods, precious gemstones, and special oils. This is a highly sophisticated, incredibly expensive undertaking. This raises a massive question. How would a weary group of former slaves, stranded in a desert, respond to this kind of exorbitant demand? Their response was absolutely overwhelming. This became a true grassroots movement, driven entirely by genuine internal desire, rather than external obligation. The people came forward simply because their hearts were deeply stirred. Think of it as history's first big crowdfunding campaign, and it got fully funded in basically an instant. This incredible giving came from absolutely every corner of the community. Men and women alike stepped up, pulling off their personal jewelry, earrings, rings, and pendants, and freely handing them over. Women with the right skills sat together and spun the massive amounts of fine thread needed for the tapestries. The tribal leaders stepped forward to provide the rare, priceless gemstones. Everyone gave whatever they possibly could. But gathering raw materials doesn't automatically build a sanctuary. The project desperately needed singular vision and world-class expertise. But this leadership wasn't chosen by a committee, and it wasn't put to a public vote. God handpicked the master craftsman himself, framing this immense skill as direct divine inspiration. Meet Bezalel. The text describes him as being filled with the Spirit of God, which gave him incredible wisdom, ability, and unparalleled expertise in all kinds of ancient crafts. He is the divinely appointed project manager and lead designer rolled into one. But even Bezalel wasn't expected to be a solo genius. He was given a dedicated partner named Oholiab, another highly expert artisan. Collaboration was key right from the top down. Together, they mastered fine metalworking, intricate gem setting, weaving, and complex wood carving. But here is the most important detail about these two leaders. Their true gift wasn't just doing the work themselves. It was their unique ability to teach others. By empowering the people around them, they built a lasting legacy of craftsmanship within the entire community. So, what is the ultimate formula for this level of achievement? What happens when you combine overwhelming, voluntary community generosity with divinely inspired expert craftsmanship? You get something truly extraordinary. This ancient formula shows us an entire group of people united by a single burning purpose. They freely provided their most precious resources, fully trusting inspired leaders to shape those gifts into a lasting masterpiece. Exodus 35 stands as a timeless model for what a unified community can truly achieve. All right, we have seen the divine blueprint, the ancient crowdfunding campaign, and the power of collaborative leadership. Now, let me leave you with 2 questions to sit with. First, even on God's most important project, the workers were commanded to rest. Are you allowing yourself to stop working, or is your project running your life? Second, what becomes possible today when our collective generosity and our expert skills are completely united behind a grand vision? Take a moment, breathe, and let them sink in.